Welcome to Diversity Conversations, where we engage in thought-provoking dialogue to identify leadership solutions to today's most challenging conflicts. Streamed live each week, Saturday 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Hosted by Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Strategist and CEOs Eric Ellis and Tommie Lewis. Join us and add your voice to this engaging diversity conversation.
Good morning, Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, the United States and the world. My name is Eric Ellis, and I'm the President and CEO of Integrity Development Corporation. And I'm joined this morning and every Saturday morning by my good friend and brother,
Tommie Lewis, President and CEO of Make It Plain Consulting. Good morning, Eric.
What's good, Tommie? What's good, baby?
Hey, Eric, I was looking at our intro, the video, and, we've been doing this for 7 years, every Saturday. God willing.
Right.
Thank you for our community for joining us every Saturday.
Absolutely.
And the intro videos is a timestamp of when we were in a radio studio for 30 minutes.
That's right.
Then we expanded to 60 minutes, and we would travel down from Ohio into Kentucky.
That's right.
And do the show. And I was just overwhelmed by the joy of having this blessing to take this journey with you and with our community. So I appreciate you, Eric.
Right.
I love you.
Man, I love you too, Tommie. I appreciate you. That's real. You know what I was thinking about, Tommie? This is so random, forgive me, but that's how the ADH brain works. I was just thinking about our businesses, and I was thinking about, in particular, your business, and I was thinking about so many people in the world that have never seen you perform your magic, but I have.
Yeah.
And I was just grateful that I've seen you operate in your mastery and your gift. I've seen the way that people respond to you. I've seen the professionalism that you use in the preparation of your seminars. I've seen the love that you have for the clients that you serve. And unfortunately, the majority of people in the world will never have the honor of seeing you do what you do. And I just wanted to say how blessed I have been to see that, how blessed your clients are to have you because of who you are and how deeply you care.
Thank you, Eric. And that's well received because in the work, selfishly, in the work that I do, when I'm in my muse, right, when I'm delivering a training or a retreat or a workshop or even behind the scenes strategizing for the client, when I'm in the muse, I get lost. I had learned almost 35 years ago, Eric, when I was doing public speaking, a lot of public speaking. And there were times at the end of my 20-minute or 30-minute talk, folks were like, jump up, applause, standing ovation. And it was like, that was fantastic. And I could never remember what I said.
Right.
Ever. I had a script,
right,
but I would go off script. And they said, the audience said, that's what really landed.
Right.
You know, we could tell when you were scripted, kind of going through your content.
Right.
But when you went to the personal story or you went to the other story, that's when it connected. And so I found myself getting lost. After a number of times, Eric, of that situation happening when I had prepared, which I always do,
putting the paper to the side,
etc., I actually went into reflection and said, what is that? And what came to me was, it was God, right? And so from that point forward, I just allowed God to take over in times that I was nervous, scared, ill-prepared, or even prepared the wrong way.
Right.
Because we can prepare so much,
right,
and then it's not what the audience or a client or a person needs. And I had to acquiesce, and I know you do that as well. Say, listen, do I need to be a listening ear? Do I, although I'm the speaker, can I turn this into a facilitated discussion?
Right.
And folks like, man, I had something to say. You gave me time, and you're up there alone on the stage, and now I have a voice, and I'm just amplifying it in my microphone. After all that, I'm like, I can do this again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not tough work to exploit your talent. So thank you, Eric, to acknowledge my talent. It's not difficult, but what I do say is that just try to get better every day.
Right, right, right. And what happens is that if you prepare the vessel, then you won't have to bring all of the accoutrements, all the extra things,
Yep.
if you've prepared yourself. Community, this week, Tommy and I, at the end of the show last week, we were here for over an hour, really just talking about a concept that I've been working on, and I shared it with Tommy, and Tommy listened to me, and he listened. I love Tommy because he listens, and he doesn't just jump on the bandwagon. He's listening with a critical ear and a critical mind. But then when he sees something, he says, I got it. Man, that means something to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that blessed me last week when you said, I got it.
Yeah.
When you said that, I said, oh man,
Yeah.
Because so many people, what I'm talking about is easily missed.
Mm-hmm.
It's easily missed because it stands right next to a lot of other stuff that feels like somebody just asking everybody else in the world to help them be rich.
Yeah, Eric. Little unexpected here. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Little unexpected.
Yeah.
So I work so hard to try to get it, trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So as you were explaining your concept and I wasn't getting it, I was thinking to myself, are you smart enough?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And so
Wow.
I'm listening not to be smart, but not to not be smart enough.
Yeah.
I want to be in a room. I want to be valued. So I was listening like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And so when my spirit and my mind got it, I could not do anything but I get it.
I love that. And I could not have imagined that what was in your mind is that I'm not smart enough. I couldn't have imagined that. I could only imagine being confusing or not being clear enough. Community, what we're doing right now is we're inviting you into real life. We're on this podcast. We're on cameras. Both of us own businesses. We're seen as successful. But we're human beings that have lived a whole lifetime in a world of encounters. Some of them have reinforced you and given you positive reinforcement, and others have caused you to question yourself. And so in the quiet recesses of our own minds at times, we're feeling inadequate.
Yes.
Last week I shared that about the speech, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I said I got up that morning, I looked over my whole speech. I said, what is this? This is not good. I mean, that's the first thing I said, this is not good. The people can say, why did we bring him here and pay him for something that's not good? Now, so many people, when they see us operate, they even think maybe you're arrogant. Tell me they have no idea
Eric,
that sometimes you feel the way that you feel. Am I smart enough to grasp things? But what I love about you, and this is the gift of Tommy and I working together, is that you are willing to be transparent around those things in ways that we hope, community, are a blessing to you and make you feel okay in your skin as well. Because we're just two simple guys loving each other, appreciating each other, trying to learn all the time, trying to understand. For me, if I'm not communicating something in a way that Tommie Lewis gets it, then I'm gonna keep working and keep
Yeah,
trying and
yeah.
keep working, because it's understanding is shared.
Yeah.
It's not his responsibility or mine individually. It's shared.
Yes.
And so we have to keep, and a lot of times people don't recognize that, and most don't even keep working to a place of understanding. But when you said that, I mean, I could have run out here and run around and be like, yay! Because it wasn't that he understood the words that were coming out of my mouth. It wasn't that he understood the concept. He really grasped, it felt like he grasped also the heart of what I was trying to do.
Yes.
Because that's the hardest part to get across to people. I got paper, I can give it to anybody.
Yep.
They can read it and say, okay.
Yep.
But it felt to me like Tommie Lewis understood the heart of what I was trying to do and why this was something that is in the best interest of our people, not just me.
Yeah, you're spot on, Eric. And I appreciate you pivoting not just once, twice, or three times, but multiple times to share your vision in different ways.
Right.
And so you shared it in one
way.
I got 10%. Right. Still blurry.
Right.
Kind of, I was not there. You shared it another way. You had made the pivot. I said, okay, I get a little bit more. But man, am I missing something? Whatever. You pivoted again, literally midstream, and I was connecting the dots. And then it was just that 10% pivot. You may have been 5 or 6 explanations in. And I said, you can stop. You can stop. I can see clearly now the rain is gone, right? I can see it. And so that's a lesson, a life lesson, a business lesson, a community lesson, is when we speak from the heart, we reach the heart. That's one thing. The other is, if we have a vision, and many of us do, how valuable is our own vision if others cannot see it, embrace it, and really leverage and help us achieve our vision?
Right. But here's what has to happen, community. Want to slow it down? Again, I want to slow it down. We're learning as you're learning. So I'm telling him, and Tommie's like, yeah, okay. But he feels safe enough to say, I'm not quite getting it. So I pivot.
Yeah.
Make no judgment. He's not getting it. Pivot. You say it this way. He's looking at me like, okay. Honest enough. See, he didn't just go, hey, that's great, man. See, we could have had a token conversation with him smiling and saying, hey, that's fabulous. And me not knowing that he's not grasping what I'm saying. The words are in English. But here's my concern. So what I'm saying is that if Tommie doesn't get it yet, there's a risk that this could be simply self-serving. And I don't want that to be the message. And so I keep trying. I said, hey, that's not, okay, maybe, I hope we don't get this. No, Tommie, that's not it. Let's say it a different way. It's this. And then finally, when Tommie Lewis says, and he said it with a big, joyful expression of celebration, I get it. When he said that, I said, thank you, God,
Lord,
that Tommie Lewis gets it. Because what he said to me is, I get the heart of what you're trying to do. And when he said that, I said, well, God, if Tommie sees my heart in this, then so will others.
And I'm behind it 1,000%.
Right, because, and bring this up, Lydia. Let's see what our community has said. Let's go through those comments. Bring up the comments. Let's do that, Tommie.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that first.
Right, and thank you, community, for always chiming in. Again, mentioning good mornings from Brooke. Hey, Brooke, how's it going? Good to see you, and thank you for joining us. This is beautiful, right? When we understand that we just need to allow. right? And then there's a thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. When we just need to allow,
Mhm.
right? There's no leader. What? If the first person can't follow,
Yeah, love that.
right?
Mhm.
If the first person can't follow. And then it is facing our shadows with no judgment. That is beautiful.
Mhm.
That is beautiful. You know, again, Eric, thank you for going to the comments from the community. And those who are watching this live, you can see the comments. But we also know that there are a number of folks who are listening to this, right? And this says, I know now that those moments are moments to appreciate, to know more about ourselves, to learn, and to expand.
And that's what Tommie Lewis and I, we both can tell you. We do not love being on diversity conversations by ourselves
Not at all.
as much as we do with each other.
Right.
We get on the show together, we feel like Wonder Twins.
Activate.
Activate, right? And so we are grateful to be here because our podcast is authentic. You will see us right in the middle of an authentic exchange where God is blessing us, teaching us. And so we know that value is being added because it's starting with us.
Yes, sir.
That the value is being added to us. Let's bring up our presentation today, presentation conversation. So this is what I was really talking about, is that we must leverage our networks by being leverageable. And so people are more likely to open doors for you when you've proven yourself easy to help, valuable to associate with, and generous in return. And so this is the concept that I was crystallizing last week. Let's go to the next slide because I want to get through a couple of these and then bring you in, Tommie, to get your reaction. Let's go to the next one. And so the first thing that I saw, and these are the things that God was helping me to see through this political environment and what's happening. My original thought was we shouldn't be looking to Washington to save us. And you see that confused person down there that's scratching their head, looking towards Washington, saying, hey, why can't they figure it out? And I'm going to tell you that it's not a Republican problem. It's not a Democrat. It's neither party is where we should be looking to for our answers around our own lives. I show over here a picture of Hakeem Jeffries and Michael Johnson, the minority sort of head of Congress, the majority leader in Congress. They're hugging each other. I say they like each other, just not on camera. And so, I think that we got to be careful that we don't get caught up in somebody else's game when they might not even dislike each other, but we're all in a pretzel over this. Let's go to the next slide. So this is a thought that woke me up at 4:30 this morning. I don't know why I was thinking about this crazy thought, but I couldn't wait to get here to Tommie to get his reaction because I knew it was a crazy thought. We have animated expectations of political parties and politicians who operate in inanimate ways. And so then I started looking at animate. What's that mean? So that's expression of life and joy. And when we think about animation, it's taking still things and sort of bringing life to them. And so here's a statue of former President Abraham Lincoln. We can't look at that statue and hope that that statue will solve our problems. And so a part of what I've been saying to you all, community, is don't waste a bunch of your energy looking towards Congress, towards Washington to answer the questions that affect your life in meaningful ways. Don't look there, an inanimate process to bring animated solutions. Tommie, any thought about that?
Yeah, that's interesting. For those who've been to the United States and you've been to Washington, D.C., and you may have been to the Lincoln Memorial, where you see this statue, which is enormous, right? It's not a 10 feet tall by 8 feet wide. It is enormous. And I I've been there many, many, many times, and I've always seen the statue and others as uh, a piece of a story. In other words, Eric, when I see the statue
Mm.
and it's inanimate, right? I begin the animation in my
Okay.
mind.
Mm-hmm.
I begin the story
Mm.
of, who was he during his time? What was he thinking? He was actually a real person,
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff. And sometimes all the time, the animation of the inanimate thing is through my own
Right.
imagination
Love that.
and narrative.
Yep.
Right? So sometimes I put a kind of a cloudy view on it
Mhm.
if I am dark or the experience for me has been less than positive.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I will put a bright light
Mm.
and a glow on it to literally illuminate the inanimate
Mm.
object or thing. And so, as you mentioned with politics, I think that that's what we're doing as people in this country. We're either putting shade on it,
Mm-hmm.
on the inanimate thing,
Right.
or we are illuminating it
Mm-hmm.
and spotlighting it.
Right.
But we have to know that
And giving it negative energy, negative light, negative power, which it doesn't hold actually in and of itself.
Not in and of itself.
No.
Yeah, and that's a great point you make, because one of the things I share in training and workshops and things like that is that when we write things down, we can send a text message or send an email, Eric. The words themselves have no energy, no emotion.
Right.
The words themselves.
Right.
It is the interpreter of the words that infuses the energy.
Right.
Right. So if I send something to you, which is basically inanimate, right? It's a message that is all capital letters, bold, double underlined, and red.
Right. Now it's got something. Right.
If I react. If you react, because in reality it's just bold,
right,
double underlined, right, red. In reality, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because it could be blue, but it's the receiver of that message that then gets fueled. Why is Tommie yelling at me? I'm not. I just, my caps lock is stuck, so everything's in bold in capitals, right? Really,
right.
So sometimes we do project our own narrative and our own emotion, our own experience to inanimate things. But what we do need to do, Eric, and from my opinion, we need to be able to discern what is inanimate and what is animated.
Right. And so, like I say, I'm in Erie, Pennsylvania. I pick up the paper, I read over it, and I say, this is not good. Well, it's actually just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
With just words on it and just data on that. What brings life to it
is yes, sir. It's you.
It's me.
Yep.
It's the Spirit of God in me. It's the heart that I have. It's the purpose that I was born with. Those things then bring life to this. Let's go back to the slides and we'll move to the next one. Let's move on to the next one. And the next one says then, so I got this earlier this year. Don't look towards Washington. Our answers aren't there. We must look out for each other. And so this is what I'm saying to you, community, right now, is that whatever you're doing, whatever you're feeling about where we are right now, I'm saying to you, turn your attention away from politicians, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and turn your attention towards other people around you. We must look out for each other. Let's go to the next slide. And so then the first thought I got was leverage our networks. That was the first thought I had. I said, Tommie, and I shared this with you, I said that I've got a vast network of people that I'm connected to. And most of them, probably 95% to 98%, I've never asked them for anything. They're just in my network. And I think that part of the problem, you all, is that, and this is the other place that I was going to, is that we live in a world right now where, man, it's not always that people are going to respond positively if you're in need of help. I remember my grandmother, I've said this before, I remember my grandmother telling me when I was a kid, Eric, when you grow up, count yourself fortunate if you have more than one or two good friends in your lifetime. I said, Grandma, you crazy. I got 12 friends right now. I'm going to have a boatload of friends. She said, no. She said, I'm talking about true good friends. And so, unfortunately, we live in a world where we've almost gotten to the place of isolation, and we don't really value as much as we should the importance of networking with each other, caring about each other. Just this last week, we've got new neighbors that have come to our street. Next door neighbors, new neighbors, Vietnamese family. They invited us over for dinner, close neighbors around them. And me and my son, Evan, went over there and literally had a ball. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've never had such a good time. The new neighbors didn't really know that every other neighbor that was around the table, we've been here for a long time, and yet we've never been in each other's houses and don't know each other. We know each other, but it's this. Mm-hmm. And one guy said, well, I think it's because we don't have sidewalks. I've said that before. Yeah. But Tommie, what are your thoughts around this notion of networking, this notion of having one or two good friends, too much dependence on isolation? I don't know about you, but I grew up with a philosophy from my father: you got to go get it. Mm-hmm. You're responsible for you. That's a good thought. Mm-hmm. But there's another side of a thought that says that I'm also responsible for you.
Yes, indeed. I am my brother's keeper. Right. So if I am my brother's keeper, I'm thinking of my brother as well as myself. I'm thinking of my brother in some instances when I am not thinking of myself. Mm. And so there is the law of reciprocity. There is the law of attraction. There's a law, etc. All these laws of human nature and human energy. And so if I am truly your neighbor, scripturally, right, then I am going to act neighborly. Mm-hmm. That's the first charge, right, of being a neighbor. Right. The ownership is on me to be the neighbor to you. Right. Where we are now, I think, and maybe we've been for some time, where I've expected my neighbor to do my bidding, mm-hmm, to get to know me such that I can control the narrative. Mm. I can control what I share with the neighbor or not. And one of the things that I control most with me and my home is if I let you in it or not. And so if I don't let you in my home and you are that person next door, you are actually the person next door.
Right.
You're not a neighbor.
Oh, that's powerful, man.
Neighbor. Yeah,
exactly.
So we can take a look. I asked this question again during trainings and workshops too, that your home is your intimate space, mm-hmm, for the most part. Right. Some folks grew up where the home was the community space. Right. Literally, it's everyone in the community. The kids would come over to that one home. If you had a large family, everyone would congregate at your home. That's a lot of communities, right? But if we think about it, let's look at and let's be honest with ourselves here, Eric. Let's look at the diversity of people that we do let into our house. Mm. Right. So that's one thing. Right. And then the diversity of people that stay over at your house after midnight. Mm-hmm. So there's some things that are happening: a fight party, Super Bowl party. Right. It may be just playing cards, mm-hmm, and it goes into 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. Right. But some people say at 11:30, 11:45, we're about to get it started. But you're not going to stay, are you, Eric? I was planning to.
I won't know you that well.
Yeah, we don't.
We about to get loose in here.
We don't know you that well, mm-hmm, right? So that's the soft exit, right? Everyone else here, family in my home.
Mm.
You are, you know it now, an associate.
Mm-hmm.
So as we think about our network,
Mm-hmm.
do we have associates?
Mm.
Do we have family members in our network?
Right.
So not biologically,
Right.
biological family members,
Right.
but those who are our, to your mother's point, our trusted few, if not our trusted one.
Right.
So we have to look at our network. A whole bunch of people know me. You go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you can see that 15,000 people know me.
Uh-huh.
And I know 25,000.
I'm very popular.
I am the man.
Yeah, right.
Right? But if you were to literally reach out to any of them to ask for a favor, how many are going to show up?
Right.
In closing, Eric, my network, I have a professional network, business folks, and I have a personal network. My personal network is slowly diminishing. That I have longtime friends who are showing their colors that they're not friendly anymore, let alone neighborly. And so those seasons too are changing. The seasons change. You know, sometimes the people change. And I'm hoping that we can come back into summer, maybe come back into spring, rejuvenate life. But right now we're in fall, maybe winter. And we've been in that space for 4 or 5 years, and now I'm having to reassess the type of friend that you are. And so we have to do that with friends, neighbors, and within our network.
And so I'm just going to jump on that for just a half a second to say, sometimes the seasons have changed because of them, and sometimes the seasons have changed because of us.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm good at looking at both of those. And so let's bring back the slides. And I'll say again that the neighbor had like a 4-course meal.
Yep.
They brought out the soup, squash soup. The wife, Lynn Vu, had made this beautiful dinner. She didn't cater it in. She handmade everything. She had had a stroke years ago, and she's recovered from that. And now just their whole spirit, Tommie, Chin, was just, his laughter was infectious.
Yeah.
He said, "Is it okay with everybody if I open up with a prayer?" And he said, "Because my faith is Christian." And he opened up with a prayer, man. And we got a chance to experience his culture and experience each other.
Yeah.
And there were other neighbors, even though we had seen each other and been together, many of us for sometimes 20, 25 years. We enjoyed getting to know each other at the home of our new neighbors. And so that was a blessing.
So who set that up? Did they
The new neighbors.
They did?
Yeah, the new neighbors. I mean, we were all looking out our window saying, who is our new neighbor? You know? And so finally I saw him. I probably went up to 10 moving people saying, "Are you our new neighbors? I'm your neighbor." No, we're not your neighbor. So finally I came up to somebody, and it was the new neighbor. You know? But I had introduced myself with a big old smile, you know. And so he was kind then. And he said, "Hey, Eric, I'd love to go to breakfast or something." And then he says, "I'll probably have something at my house." Now, he lived down around this corner. So he didn't move from somewhere else. He actually lived on a street right down the street for years. But because of his wife's illness, they moved from 2-3-story house to a 1-floor house. Yeah, and his son now lives in the house that is around the corner. And so he was there with his wife. Yeah. He did music. His wife was an artist. We were playing our music. I mean, it was the best time that I've ever had with any neighbors. And so, so let me move this from, let's see what Roger has to say.
Roger says that, well, sometimes I've changed my position for a better view, not to change my view on my position.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Just change my position for a better.
Right. Take a different look. Right. Yep. I love that. I love that. So that says that sometimes, even if I'm strong in my position, I want to take a look at other points of view. And we do that all the time. So my faith may have me with a certain set of beliefs. My business and what I believe about the workplace has another set of, and so I think that's a powerful statement.
And so I think they're both equally valuable, right? To change my position on the view and not change my own position. And then sometimes we have to change our own position to get a better view.
Right.
Let me give you one clear example.
That's good.
Right. Here in Cincinnati, Ohio, we have a professional football team called the Cincinnati Bengals.
Right.
And the Cincinnati Bengals has a very good quarterback who the organization has invested a few $1 million, north of $50 million a year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the quarterback was injured. Right. It's something that happens in football, if you don't know.
Right.
So some folks are like, oh my goodness, he got hurt. Football is a collision sport.
Right.
It is a gladiator sport.
Right.
And when you're looking at the professional level, it's at the highest
Freight
level of gladiatorship.
Right.
That's not even a word I'm making.
Right.
And so he brought in the second stringer.
Right.
Game one of his first start, did okay, got a win. All right. Game two, not so good.
Right.
Game three of his starts, not so good. Some people thought that the management of the Bengals were solid in their position.
Right.
Their position is, we're going to stay with our number two.
And they flipped on that.
And they was reminded that the view didn't look so good going forward.
Right.
Let's look at the analytics,
i.e.
the statistics.
Right.
They're trending down. Let's look at the butts in the seats, the fans trending down. Let's
about to put paper bags on.
Because you have to look at it's a business.
Right.
So let's look at the ticket sales. Folks are in Cincinnati. They're watching on television.
Right.
They're not at the stadium.
Right. That's
not
good
eating at the
time.
restaurant. All that good stuff. So it's not just the front office of the Bengals. It's other folks that say, hey, you may want to change your
stance on it.
Right.
That's good time.
Let's go to the waivers.
Right.
Let's leverage our network. And literally, the Cincinnati Bengals changed their position and stayed within the state to get a quarterback.
Right.
You have to understand what that looks like.
Right.
So we're going to stay literally at home.
Right.
Just go up the street to Cleveland. There's a viable, seasoned quarterback back that's on the market and available.
Right.
We'll trade for him. Maybe squeak out a strong 3 to 6 games.
Right.
Because now we're in a waiting period to bring it back to number one.
Right.
QB1.
Right.
And so I could stay on my position, and be absolutely wrong to the end. Or I can change my position to end up in a better place. I would like to share with you, Eric, and community knows this. I practice this in my personal life. There's a lot of things that I'm opinionated about, that I anchor down and I bolt down. But then when there's so many people that tell me, yeah, you are bolted down to concrete in the ocean. Right. What's that mean? You're sinking. Right. I need to unshackle, float to the top, see the horizon, and get a different and better view. Sometimes we can be too close to the trees to see the forest. Right. Sometimes we can be looking at the horizon at night. Right. But when the sun rises, we can see clearly now. That's what we're trying to do. And that's the advice that I have with folks who are gravitating toward, negative imagery, negative messages, wherever you're getting that from. You're too close to the tree and you don't even know that the forest is coming around you and suffocating you. Right. You have to break out, and it all starts from your mind.
Right. So let me give a quick example, and then we're coming back to this because I want to get to these things before you all get away from us. But I want to come back to a golf example. So Tommy and I play often. And so Tommy will tell you, for both of us, we had gotten our drivers to a place, man, where we were smacking them pretty good, weren't we?
Yeah.
Longer than everybody else. We smacking them good. But last week, I'm out with the West Club on Sunday, and my score wasn't horrible, but my driver was bad. And everybody would scream at the start of the woo, yeah. And then woo, my ball was going back left. And I was like, what? Where in the world did that come from? And Tommy, I figured it out. But I had to go to the driving range to do that. But here's the thing. Tommy's saying, if you find yourself getting locked in on some insight that you think you have, and you are unwilling to investigate whether what you've locked in on is the right thing, you're gonna own those flaws and that failure. You own it because you're unwilling to take a look at everything. Tommy, I went to the driving range. First thing I did is I saw my 8-iron, middle irons. They were going to the left and then coming back right towards the middle of the hole. So that's not a bad drive. I mean, that's a draw. But I'm saying that's not really what I'm trying to do, yet it's happening. So I sat down with Chat, started investigating. Chat says, well, your swing path is to the left, and then your club is closed. So it's going to the left, and that's not bad. But what I said, what I heard Chat say was swing path determines where you're going. So if my ball's going here and there, that means my swing path is going the wrong way. So, man, I finally straightened up. Long story short, I got it figured out. But you've got to let go of what you think is right in order to find what's right. Let's go back to our slides, because the last slide is the one that I want to get you to. I stopped here at leverage our networks, but then God helped me with the rest of it by being leverageable. Yeah. In other words, a leadership principle is that you can't just sit around and selfishly think about leveraging your network for you. Yeah. You have to really take a look at, am I leverageable? And so you're clear about, there are these 5 principles that Tommy and I believe are important for you to become leverageable. I've heard Tommy talk about some of these in our conversations. You're clear about what you need and why it matters. So one of the things that I'm doing, just to tie all these things together, I said, don't look at Washington, look at each other. We need to care about each other. And I showed us look into each other's eyes. We need to care about each other. But then we need to not just leverage our network to help grow whatever it is we're working on. We got to be leverageable. So you got to be clear about what you need and why it matters. Tommy, anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, and even in looking at people's eyes, sometimes we're in proximity to be able to do that. Sometimes we're not. I think that if we're not in the proximity to really see someone's face or be in their presence, the mindset of caring for the other person as a human goes a long way. So things that are happening around the world, some people have no real idea. They've never been to that part of the world. And so they may be informed by misinformation, which has them looking at that part of the world or those people through jaundiced eyes. But if we are clear about what we need and why it matters, at the end of the day, they're human beings.
Right.
We're all fallible. We're all flawed. And so it makes it easier for us to help people who have lived life experiences like us. They too are human. And so you don't have to be face to face to look at another human's eyes and say, I can see you, so therefore I have empathy for you. We should have a fundamental principle of empathy, sympathy, compassion for humankind. And that's where we get organized and start to be more appreciative, and then we follow through our actions of what being civil and human is like.
Right.
Instead of some of the things that we see other people doing, to say, are you human?
Right.
Do you really care about humans? You're no longer saying for the American people.
Mm.
When we
Right.
listen to something
Right.
before,
Right.
when you're
Right.
campaigning,
Right.
there's always the American people want this, the American
Mhm.
people want this.
Mhm.
But now you're calling the still American people the enemy
Right.
and downtrodden.
Mhm.
I just think there's reciprocity both ways. You are reciprocal, and we'll get there.
Right.
On the good side, on the bad side too, Eric.
Right. So let me bring it now. When I say that God has shown me something, I'm actually saying that I believe that God has given me a revelation about something. So I believe that what God showed me was we spend too much time looking out there and we need to be talking to each other. So God said, I'm going to release you now, Eric, to tap into your network and to share with them what it is you need. Now, I can tell you that the strength of the Black community historically has been the Black church. The strength of the Black church and the Black pastor, the reason why Black pastors had a voice is because they weren't depending on corporate America to pay their bills. They were getting their salary from people of color. So then they were liberated to speak. So I see this as we need to then be clear to one another about what it is we need. Because of the political attacks on Tommie and my industry, then we have to say to people, if these values or values that you care about, fairness, inclusion, equity, opportunity for the marginalized as well as for the dominant culture, then I want you to be clear that that's what we do. Number two, I need your help in trying to grow my business. And so, and then number three, why it matters, because as we do what we do, we make it a better corporate world, but we also create a better society because of the biblical principles that undergird what it is we're teaching within organizations. And so I'm saying, help me grow my business, but I'm also going to compensate you for that. So I'm not just tapping my network to help me out, but I'm saying I'm going to reward you back for investing in me.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. We'll get to the next couple of points, but I want to thank our producer and her thought leadership and direct you, community, to something that she has inspired us to do. If you look at the screen, if you're watching this or you're going to watch it later on YouTube or other platforms, you'll see at the top left and the top right, there are QR codes.
Yep.
These QR codes represent Eric's business, Integrity Development Corporation, and my business, Make It Plain Consulting. We invite you to scan the QR codes on the screen to learn more about Eric Ellis's business and Tommie Lewis's business.
Right.
And so we want to say that it's not just Eric's business and Tommie's business.
Mm-hmm.
These are businesses in and of themselves that happen to be created by the two of us, and they are led by the two of us. But there is a network of professionals who deliver exceptional services.
That's right.
So top left is Integrity Development, top right is Make It Plain Consulting.
Right. And I'll say to you that here's the options for us. We could literally, all of us, sit around spending our time complaining about what's wrong in this country. Or we could start investing in people that are trying to make it right. And I think that, Tommie, we have spent too much time historically complaining and not enough time investing in things that matter. And I'm going to say the model that we're putting forth here, we're going to share more about next week, is a model that can be used for any business. Let's go back to the slides. Any business can use this same model. You have to be easy to help, organized, appreciative, and be willing to follow through on the things that people are offering as help for you.
Yeah, I think that's both professionally and personally.
Right.
Be easy to help.
Right.
Don't be difficult. Don't make it worse.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
You know, again, being organized, that speaks to something, organization. Being appreciative goes a long way. Right. So at the end of the day, no one really owes you anything.
Right.
So anything that you receive, be it a connection to another person or an organization or an opportunity or business, etc., be appreciative of
Right.
it. Because we are faithful people,
Right.
and we know the blessings that are bestowed upon us by our Lord and Savior.
Right.
And we also know where we have maybe misused or even abused that blessing, and it was taken away.
Right.
Right?
Right.
We may not have known it in the moment
Right.
that our thinking and our deeds created the removal of the blessing
Right.
for the moment. But later it's like, oh yeah, I did do that.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking negative about that person.
Right.
And God said, no, I don't like ugly.
Right.
And then took away.
Mm.
So let us be easy to help.
Appreciation is so powerful. It causes a ripple effect. I agree with that. For me, I'm saying to people that if you connect me to an opportunity, I'll provide you $2,500 if that turns into a deal. Now, the thing is, I'm also saying to people, Tommy, that we don't want you to have to sweat it out to help us. So if there's people that you need us to write letters to, give them all the attachments, we'll do everything we can to make this easy for you. Mm-hmm. We're only speaking to people that have an ability to help. So if somebody has an ability to help or desire to help, we're speaking to you. Yeah. If you're not, hey, that's fine. We don't need to. But I can tell you that Tommy and I have spent a lifetime helping others because it's the right thing to do. And almost being unwilling to ask for help. And God showed me that if you're not willing to make yourself vulnerable to ask for help, then the giving of help that you give may just be pride.
Indeed, Eric. You know, I had learned some time ago, and from larger companies, you know, some of them very large, they're in 100 million, 200 million annual revenue. Yep. And they started maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago with one or two, maybe three people. And I had learned through experiences with them and even the sales teams that the sales teams would literally ask for your business. Mm-hmm. I need your business. Right. What can we do for you? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. And unapologetically. Right. Because this is business. Right. Right. When you go into retail or you go into a fast food restaurant, hopefully they say when you come in, may I help you? Mm-hmm. Right? They want to be of service. May I help you? You say, well, let me think about it. You've been to McDonald's a billion times. Right. You have to look around the menu that hasn't changed in a billion years. Right. And then you land on the same, I'll take a number one. Right. And they have to listen to that. Like, you were here and yesterday. Be grateful. Right. Right. Smiling. So as a business person, it's okay, Eric, to now tap into that bank, right, and make a few withdrawals, right, because over the last 30 years you've been making deposits, right, and now in a short period of time, and it's not cashing out, you do want to have a little return on your investment, even if it's not financial. Right. So sometimes it's just sweat equity. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just prayer. Right. Like, right. Sometimes pray for me too. Yeah. I love that. Right? I love that. Some people say, pray for me. Right. You get your prayer, right, and you're going to get it. And then they see you kind of in a space that's unusual. Right. I'm not going to say it's down. It's a space that's unusual. And they were like, oh, you got it. No, we don't automatically got it. We need your business. We need your intention. We need you to kind of connect me to your network. Right. And tap us into 10 people. And maybe out of that, one person gets on board. But you said, Eric, and I want to double down so that people don't miss it. If you, community, connect a business opportunity for Eric and it turns into a true contractual business opportunity, not just a conversation, that there is a financial return. Right. $2,500 or more. It makes sense. Now, let me show you what else God showed me. He tied it again to the Black community, the Black church, that the strength of the pastor was he got his money from the people. That's what God showed me about this, Tommy, that too many people in the space of DEI were depending on corporate America
those entities for their livelihood. And then when those entities got shut down, so did their monies. What God showed me in this is that if you tap your network, and he's refined the search for me, Tommie. Mm-hmm. Here's what God said to me. Look at this person in your network. They value inclusion deeply. They care about it deeply. So instead of calling them to complain about what's not happening, mm-hmm. how about asking them to help you make sure that you and this work survives? And so it's like, wow, I never thought. So I don't feel a burden asking somebody who this is in their sweet spot, their value system, to let's not just complain together. Let's look at how we, and what God showed me is that if you tie together your network, all those individual lights, nobody will ever be able to shut down your business because it's not dependent on a few corporations. It's connected to your network.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's go back. Got just a few more, and then we're going to, you're valuable to know. You add insight and encouragement. So I called up one of the people in my network, and we literally talked for an hour about that person's life, what they're going through, how they're feeling. And man, I laid back, Tommie, into my sweet spot. My sweet spot is loving people and encouraging folks, man. So I was so grateful. And the person was telling me, oh, Eric, I need to just call you periodically just to get sort of a jump start, some encouragement, some optimism about what's happening around us. And what I saw then, none of this was my intention. I'm just doing what's authentic to me. But what I saw was a person that said, hey, I'm going to follow up on those 4 people right away, and I'll let you know. I said, hey, but if you need anything from us, don't sweat it out too hard. If we need to send emails, attachments, I don't want you to have to work on for this. But that number 3, be valuable to know. You want to add insight and encouragement, Tommie.
Yeah, that's all I have on that.
And then reciprocate, that's yours.
Yeah, I'm a big person, and it's maybe a value for me, reciprocity, Eric. It's not about being selfish.
Right.
Because I've shared this value system with a number of folks, and a couple, literally 2, maybe 3 people have said, well, that's selfish. That if you do something for someone, you should not expect anything in return. And I said, scripturally, faithfully, you're absolutely right. Right? If you do something for someone, don't expect it in return. It may be a little bit different on the business front. I'm talking about full transparency, Eric. If you're a prime contractor and you have built relationships with individuals who run their own respective businesses, and they're doing well, and you're doing well, and because of everyone's doing well, you see, okay, I'm the prime contractor, but I'm going to subcontract Eric Ellis's business. I know Eric, I trust him. The service is great. The quality is great. His values are aligned with mine. Let's go get this business together. Right? And so now it's a seamless partnership. And it's seamless because I initiated the seamstress.
Right.
I pulled out the cloth.
Right.
I have the thread and needle.
Right.
And you are one thread in this tapestry.
Right.
You're one. There's
Right.
some other pieces.
Right.
And so now when something or someone is pulling on the little thread of my tapestry and it's starting to unravel, my business, Eric, my livelihood.
Right. You're hoping that some of them other threads,
not just my livelihood, but the livelihood of others, people who work for me, it's starting to unravel.
Right.
I'm now going to turn to one of those other threads and say, hey, you got anything?
Right.
And they say, no, I'm intertwined with your tapestry.
Right.
And you say, hold on. The tapestry is coming undone.
Right.
Not for me, but for all of us.
Right.
I need some reciprocity. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I need some reciprocity. I've lifted you up, held you down for 10 years.
Right.
Do me a solid.
Mm-hmm.
This is no different than anything else I know. But for some reason, those who are the beneficiaries of the initial work, right? They're the thread of in the tapestry. Oh, it's beautiful when it's beautiful.
Right.
But then when it starts to get ugly, it does. So as Lydia brings up the slides again and Eric is bringing us to a close, my last comment again with reciprocity, when someone helps you, you pay it forward.
Right.
And paying it forward, you can pay it forward so often that it boomerangs around that the next pay it forward from someone else is to you.
Right. Right. I'll tell you. And the thing is, what Tommie is saying is that it's so easy to sit back and think that somehow we're on easy street.
Yeah.
And when the whole thing is unraveling, you almost can't even say that because then you'll lose more faster. And so you need somebody to be even looking at you where you might not even have to ask.
Yeah.
They come to you and say, hey, Tommie, I know what's happening in this whole industry, man. What can I be of service? And the last one says, stay connected, not only when you need something, but to genuinely nurture relationships. So community, what we're saying to you is that two things. Number one, we've got to make sure we leverage each other. I'm saying that to you, that if you need something that I can help with, doesn't cost me anything. I'm here to be leverageable for you. But for you, you want to make sure that you're not just the person that's trying to leverage others, but you're also thinking about all the kinds of things that I can do to be leverageable. Tommie and I are going to hang out in this space for a while because we know that you, community, need practical answers and solutions that don't point you towards pessimism and failure, but point you towards optimism, hope, and a brighter outlook for tomorrow. I'm so grateful, Tommie, for your transparency. That's where we started, in a real genuine place of who we are as human beings, as brothers, and as a part of your community. Tommie, you want to close this out?
Sure do. Again, thank you, community. Every week, it goes by fast, Eric.
Yes, it does.
These 60 minutes.
Right.
But it's more than just 60 minutes. It's almost a lifetime of wisdom, experiences, and backgrounds that are shared, and our community keeps joining the conversation. Mm-hmm. I would like to share this before we close. We invite anyone from our community to be our guest.
Yeah.
We're actually entertaining having guest hosts.
Right.
Every now and again.
Right.
Right. So this is a platform for us.
That's right.
Not just Eric and I, but for us, community.
Right.
But we want to thank you again for joining us for another installment of
Diversity
Conversations. Take care.
Take care. We love you.